What's going on Facebook? They say time's a charm, right?
Thanks.
Like, thank y'all for bearing with us. So, once again, welcome. Cierra G. Wiles checking in, your trend-setting coach, helping you guys make better career decisions. I'm excited to be here today with my brother, my friend, Mr. Adam Morris, and we are talking about some great things today. All right. So while you have the chance, please make sure you're sharing this broadcast to your page, your cousin's page, everything, because this is a conversation that people want to hear about. Building a business while working a 9 to 5. This is a good conversation. I feel like that a lot of people overlook. And so this is all about the process. So right now you in the process. So I'm glad to have you today, my brother.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Most definitely. All right. So if y'all share, let's get right into it. First and foremost, Adam, tell the people where can they find you?
You can definitely find Ink Chef on Facebook and Instagram. It'll be Inked INKDCHEF 23 on Facebook. On Instagram, it'll be Inked INKD _ chef 23. And that's going to be on Instagram. So you can find us on all those platforms. We're working on the Twitter right now. So that's what
all right. Come on, y'all better be tweeting. Okay, so first off, even starting this conversation out, I feel like I need to start having like a couch or something, because that's how relaxed I be doing these conversations.
I was like, okay, I'm getting ready for the red table talk. We're gonna be sitting
you feel the vibes. You feel the vibes, bro. You feel it.
Absolutely.
So let's talk first about your business. Tell the people what you do, how you do it, all of that good stuff, because this is something that has definitely, even since I've known you, that has been a passion of yours since I've met you. So for it to be coming out, like, I am just completely in celebration of you right now, you and Lulu in this season, because it's amazing to see something that we've talked about in private, and now to see it like being birthed. So
absolutely. So Ink Chef, I mean, we our goal here is to go ahead and buy a food truck. We enjoy going and trying different dishes and cuisines, and our mindset is always, ooh, how can I make this better? And my wife, she couldn't be on here with me today, unfortunately, but my wife is Colombian, and I'm Puerto Rican and Black. So we like to take our heritage and our background and just kind of fuse them with the things that we go out and try. And this Ink Chef was born. It was crazy. It started off with a simple conversation, and we looked at each other. At the time, she didn't even have a single tattoo, and I have tattoos. And it just kind of started to flourish and come to fruition from there. It was crazy. It's crazy.
Awesome. And the thing is, sometimes people, I think sometimes minimize, small beginnings or things just starting out as just as a thought or a conversation, and to know that it can grow into something so much bigger. So absolutely. How did you know that you were passionate about like food and the culture behind food and stuff? Like, how did you get to that revelation of that passion?
So growing up, my mom, my mom was an amazing chef. God bless her. So amazing chef, and she constantly kept me and my sisters in the kitchen with us. And Louisa went through the same thing growing up also. But as we would go through those experiences in the kitchen, my mom would make something or teach us how to make a dish. For example, Thanksgiving come around, we got deviled eggs. You got the stuff. You know what I mean? So she would teach us how to make these things and then challenge us to make them going next, the following year. And then she's like, ooh, I done taught y'all how to make it. So now I can't make it that way no more. I done lost the sauce. And that's pretty much how that started off. It was literally just being in the kitchen, with the parents and just really getting our hands dirty and not being scared. You know what I'm saying? To give it a try.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Because it's crazy, because I grew up similar to that as far as just learning, how to cook and stuff in the kitchen with my mom, my stepmom, especially my grandmother. Like, so you get in there. So I can cook. I can cook. I will say I can cook. But as far as burning like that, I don't feel like it's at that level. Like I can do my basics, I can do the soul food, but like going to that level, like no, it not gonna happen.
Listen, that's how I was in the beginning. I was like, you know what? I don't think I can fool with that. I remember the first time trying to make mac and cheese. It was horrible. Had about 7 different cheeses and none of them was melting. It was bad.
Look, I get it. So even continuing to do that because you guys are fortunate. So you and your wife, y'all are fortunate to have the same passion for food and being able to explore those different cultures. Like, how does that feel? Like to be able to walk into this partnership or this covenant in this union, to be able to share those same passions and be able to get connected behind something that, you even sometimes feel like is even more of a greater call for you guys' marriage.
And she just actually put it in the comments. Funny enough, we just continue to learn every day. It is a blessing because when you have 2 cultures coming together as one, my sister-in-law says it all the time. At that point, that becomes your nucleus, and you just have to be able to. You have to be willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn and receive, then it's hard to be successful in anything that you do.
That's it.
And with her and her family, amazing family, Colombian background, I know that was something that I personally had never experienced.
Yeah.
So it was to me, it was just such an amazing gift to be able to be outside my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and just learn different things, how to make, chorizos. We go to restaurants and eat this. Now
what is that, Adam?
So it's a Spanish sausage. I mean, it's it's amazing.
That
and
sounds
to learn
good.
to make it from scratch is insane. Things like arepas, and that's basically, you think about. I would never have thought corn could taste almost like bread. I mean, it's insane.
Really?
And her family, though, I mean, we make these things from scratch, being out there with them and just putting that work in, as she just said, Colombian sauce. It's truly amazing. And I think, once in a lifetime, do you get the opportunity to find someone that you just connect with on every single level.
Yeah.
They say that you only find your soulmate once, when you meet that person and you both just have such a heart for, cooking, and it can be anything, but when you have that heart, your possibilities are endless.
That's beautiful because a lot of times people don't realize that in a union, in a marriage, that you have to have something, that connects you guys. Like you said, like that nucleus, you got to have something that keeps you grounded. And to be able to walk in it, I think that is so, so beautiful, so impactful too.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, people say all the time, it isn't just love. What do you do in your marriage after love, or after what they call the puppy dog phase?
Yes.
Well, when you have things in common that, you both, again, you share that passion for, if you have a heart to give, you will be amazed the work that God will do and show up in your relationship. He will take you from something that could be so toxic to something that was the greatest gift in the world.
Now, Adam, what you're not going to do today is you're not going to preach.
Hey, it's testimony.
I am all about the shifting to the spirit.
Amen.
Amen. And I think sometimes, like, we don't understand it, we don't see it, and sometimes how impactful or purposeful. Because, like, you hear a lot of people say, like, when you marry your spouse has to be your purpose partner.
Absolutely.
Your spouse has to be your purpose partner, because your spouse helps to develop and grow you in those areas in which you're weak. And a lot of times what you will find is that, and this is definitely for Jonathan and I, where I'm weak at, he is completely strong at.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so it's vice versa. And a lot of times people don't understand, like, though those things may like irritate you sometimes, but they are there to develop you. They're there to grow you in your covenant, in your union. And so I think that's so beautiful to be able to have, you know, that right, a perfect compliment, Lou. Yes. To be able to have that union and to be able to grow in business together. Because you're seeing a lot of entrepreneur, like married, they call them like marriedpreneurs, like who are working together in business. So let me ask you that question. Like, how is that? Because you guys are transitioning from being like, y'all are newlyweds.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, let's get that. Like y'all are true newlyweds. So going in on this journey as newlyweds, as now business owners, like how does this feel?
To be honest, I look at my wife almost every other day, and I tell her, I just can't believe that where we are, and I say that very humbly, and just very transparent, again, the work that God has just really done in both of us. I think when you're going into a business and you're married or you're a couple, you're engaged, or, you're walking towards covenant, it's important to remember outside of that business, you are still best friends. You're still a team. You cannot let that business come in and tear anything in your relationship apart. And it's just like you just said, where you may be weak, he is strong, and vice versa. In a business, you have to remember, yes, this is still my wife, yes, this is still my husband, my spouse, or whatever the case may be. However, at the end of the day, we are here. We're here. We're here first, and we have to always bring it back to center. You can't get in the, me and her are big about watching stuff like the Food Network, Restaurant Impossible, stuff like that. And I'll be honest, we've learned so much just from watching that alone. You see husband and wife go into business, and the business is destroying the marriage. And,
yes,
we had that agreement from the beginning. Like, if we ever felt like this would destroy us, the business would be done.
Oh, that's good, Adam. Repeat that for the people in the back.
If you ever feel like your business is destroying your relationship, the business, it has to be done, because you have to understand the enemy's goal is to seek and destroy. He doesn't like covenant, so any area, if you're building a house on sand, the water is going to take that straight away. But if you build that thing on bricks, on a solid foundation from day one, then you're coachable. You can look at each other and give each other very honest feedback and not get offended. Because at the end of the day, as a spouse, especially as a man, and you're supposed to lead, you have to be able to take that and have grace for each other in the process. That's so important. So important. And that's from day one. We're like, hey, if this doesn't work, we scrap it and we move on to the next, amazing thing that we come up with. But we're number one.
I really love that, because a lot of times, and we have seen this even on reality TV, a lot of stars and stuff, they will go into business together because they're on TV. So their marriage is completely exposed. And then, a few years of them being on the show, is like, they get a divorce. And you're like, wait, what?
Like, what happened?
Right. What happened? Yeah, and I think it's so critical as to what you said, as far as, not allowing business to completely like disrupt your covenant, your relationship, your home. And that's something that we also, and I think you have to be also intentional about setting those boundaries.
Absolutely.
And I say that all the time, like, and Jonathan will tell you, like, and that's just putting it out there, being raw and real. Like, I fired my husband yesterday, and then I hired him back again today. Like, I love him. I love him, but that's just me. That's just me. And I'm pretty sure he definitely don't fire me plenty of times, in his head. Cause I'll be like, no, I'm not helping with nothing. I ain't helping, but then you pick it right back up, because you know that you guys have purpose together. But I think it's just that intent to know that these things they're not gonna come in between me and you. And to be intentional about that. Because I think a lot of times people can see, what happens in business, and because, you may be out there and you're doing food and stuff like that, but not realizing that your marriage is your ministry. That comes first. It comes first,
Absolutely. And, like you said, marriage is 100% the ministry. You know,
Yes,
we want to lead by example. You
that's
know,
it.
if you don't have that communication between each other, then
Yeah.
how could you actually get to the bigger picture? You know, I went to this thing called Healing of the Heart, and one of
Mm,
the things that they said was a lot of the times why people can't be scared to have conversations. This is your life partner, so you have to be able to walk that path. And sometimes that path means you're gonna walk through a fire, but just know on the other side of that is something
yeah.
absolutely great.
That is so good because people don't want to trust the process.
Yes,
People don't want to trust the process, but it is a process. God wants us to be elevated. He wants us delivering and showing up in the spirit of excellence. And so we have to trust the process. The process helps to prune us, it helps to develop us, it helps to grow us, it helps us to be more disciplined. Like, you just preached on a whole mouthful. You don't even realize it, Adam. I am so serious. So
it's
serious.
real. It's real. You know, unfortunately, we live in a microwave society. You
That's
know,
it.
everybody wants it right now,
Yeah,
today, 24 hours, 30 minutes. No
that's it.
one wants to be like, you know what? I got to put the work in. Yeah, I used to always say this when I did music. Everybody want to be famous, but nobody wants to put the work in. You have to really put the work in, and it's a every day
Listen,
that comes with prayer, fasting. You know what I mean? All of that is key to
that's it.
getting you to where you need to be.
That's it.
100%.
That's it. Man, I want to continue even in that line, but I want to shift it just a little bit towards even you guys building this because like you just said, prayer, fasting is just a discipline that you have to have in order for you to continue to build, right?
Hmm.
And so as you guys are pursuing business ownership, entrepreneurship, so you're taking this risk, right? So you're building a business alongside while you're still working your 9 to 5. And
Absolutely.
so even for you to get to that place to have the confidence to even start to say, you know what? All right, I'm gonna take a step to start this business, even though while I'm still working, like I can do a little bit at a time. Can you talk about that process for y'all, Adam? Like seriously, because I feel like it will bless people to understand like you don't have to just as soon as I have an idea, I just jump for it, right? And
Hmm.
so y'all are intentional about planning because you have the application of praying and fasting and seeking the Lord. So can you talk about that process?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, in the beginning, again, like I said, it was interesting. You know, the
Yeah.
whole idea came. We went to some friends' wedding,
Mhm.
some amazing friends. We went to the Morgan's wedding, um, and we came back from the wedding, and it was, I don't know, it was late. We were just up, we were just talking, and the first thing she looked at me and said, she was like, "I really want a Cuban sandwich. That would be so good right now." She goes, "You
Mhm.
know what will be good?" You know, puts a
That's
little finger
good.
up like this, right? So I'm like, all right, you know, personally, I haven't had a Cuban sandwich before, so talk to me about what's in it. So she's telling me all these different things. So I immediately go to the kitchen and I look in the refrigerator and I'm like, you know what? We don't have the stuff to make a Cuban,
Yeah.
but we're gonna make a Rican. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this sandwich. We're gonna call it a Rican. You
Yeah.
know, and it was something. It was literally just us walking through this process. Literally took. We made that one sandwich because you know she just wanted something to eat, and as we made sauces, you know, she was like, you know what, we should try it. So we went through several test phases, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that's important is if you're talking about going into any market, then one, you need to understand the market. And then you have to be willing to test what it is that you're doing. And that's what we did. I mean, we tested probably about 2 years ago, we tested for almost a year straight,
Mhm.
just testing different items and things that we just kept coming up with, and we walked through that process. And as we realized that it really was something that was a hit and it was very
Mhm.
popular, we just sat down and had a conversation, but about, okay, what do we need to do? And is this really the direction we want to pursue? You know, my wife is finishing her business degree and culinary is, you know, where I'm at.
Right.
So, you know, with that mindset, you know, if you have the two like-minded people, it's going to be easy. You know, was the process a little difficult? Of course, because in the beginning, you know, like she said, we had a couple of guinea pigs, but in the beginning, you know, we were like, okay, and it was probably more so me. I'll just be honest, like, okay, let's just go ahead and buy a food truck. And she was like, oh, no. Slow it down.
Yeah.
Let's test this thing. And at that point, when we realized that it was doing good, first thing we did was, we got our LLC. That's important. You gotta have it. You gotta research on it.
Yeah.
So, we also started looking into things together, like Duns and Bradford. A lot of people don't even know what that is, but having business credit is extremely important when you're trying to build something.
Yes, sir.
And then just being on the same page. Our idea and our mindset was we want to be able to do it and not have to say, I'm gonna go to a bank and get a loan. We want to do it and say, if we buy a food truck, we own this completely outright. And by the grace of God, December of 2019, we actually bought our first food truck together, straight out. And that was probably one of our biggest accomplishments yet to come. But again, we communicated. We did the research. We really just tested things, and it was a lot of investing from us. You're building a business and you're working 9 to 5. You have to realize, okay, where is my time that I have that's available? And in that available time, what can I get done? And then even more so, you have to say to yourself, okay, what can I do, while I may be working, that's not going to take my concentration away from my actual job. You know what I mean? And you have to look long term. And that's something that we've both consistently talked about is this is where we are today. Yeah. And we set realistic goals. And I think having vision, and even, if people have never done it, do a vision board and just watch those things come to work. But and I'm going to quote her. I remember one day I talked to Jada and I was like, you know what, Jada, I just don't know. This is a lot of work. Yeah. And I remember she looked at me and she said, you know what, bro, you have to understand, you and Lou are dating. And once you get a covenant, just watch the marriage. And that would be big advice for me to anyone. Like, if you're in a serious relationship and you see that thing going somewhere, you have to understand that you cannot allow yourself to get frustrated. Because I was frustrated plenty of days. I would call Chris, I would call Jada, and I would look at you and just say, you know what, this isn't going to work. She's like, yes, it is. And it took her Jada saying that for me to say, okay, you know what, you're right. Everything is in season. And we just waited. We waited for our seasons. We had some things happen during 2020, where we had some losses, some pretty big losses. And at that point, we decided to take a back seat. But we were already prepared. We already did the work. We had already put the hours in. So we already knew whenever we came back that we would be able to come back with just a mean force. Right. And as soon as we dropped that first menu, then everything was just booming like we never left.
But you know what? And that is the power of a covenant. I always think, I think that, when you are truly in relationship with God, and then, because the thing is, the Lord he knew that y'all needed to take that season to rest. So, and I believe that, like, I know that God does not send us out to where we're going to perform less than what he's called us to perform. And for you guys to be able to communicate, to say, you know what, we need to step back and rest in this season. We need to handle what we need to handle. We have to deal with some of the things, these losses that we have, and be able to do that in a healthy space. I think that speaks more about the maturity of even you guys' relationship with God, and to know that regardless of us taking a step back, that God is still going to have us. When we come back out, he's still going to have us. Like, it's going to be like because God truly does want us to be healthy. He wants us to be whole as we're doing the things that he's called us to do. He wouldn't call us to them to be unhealthy in it.
That's true. 100% true. And when it's your calling to walk, in a certain direction, you have to understand, and I think we all have been through it. If you're being called to go to the left, and you keep trying to go straight or go to the right, whatever God or has to do to get your attention, he will do it to pull you back. Because everybody's ministry is different. And you have to be able to really just search yourself to say, not so much as where is my talent, but where am I called to serve? You have to really ask yourself that. And when you do it, you just have to be very effective. And as you're going along the way, continue to, I'm not saying go out here and just quit your job tomorrow. You have to have a plan.
Y'all quit your job, I'm gonna send y'all right over there to Adam and Lulu. I'm just saying.
That's right. Come on over. But you got to have a plan, though. You really have to have a plan and start asking yourself, okay, in 12 months, where do I see myself? Where do I see this business? In 5 years, what is my goal from there? And then 10 and so forth. Are you trying to leave a legacy, or are you just trying to make money for the right now? Because I promise you that right now, it's not going to last like you think it is, because you're not properly planning.
That's it. Oh, that's so good. Properly planted. And it's a mindset, a generational mindset of what is the legacy? What am I wanting to leave behind? Like, that is one thing that I feel like I have been operating in, to be honest, like Adam, been operating in for a few years now, but it has truly, truly set in and home for me, I think, now being a business owner. Like, just truly, it's like, you get all the information about it and you're like, yeah, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. And then until you get into a season to where you have to apply it, it is applied differently from what I thought it may have looked like.
Absolutely.
Like, the drive, everything is different.
And when people, sometimes you have to check the signs. Know that it's not the season if you start feeling nervous about it. If you are scared to jump off the porch, it's not the season. And because they say what God can hear your prayers, but so can the enemy. So you have to really pay attention to the signs and say, okay, I'm not nervous. I know this is it. But when everything is prepared, when you plan, again, planning is key. Communicated, you've done the work. It may be something simple like you need to go take a class. You know what I mean? When you put the work in and really invest it in yourself, you will be surprised at the doors that will open. In that season, when we first started, I knew I was nervous, but I was also wanting to rush. And it took her to come in with that patience to say, hey, not yet. And it can be discouraging. Anybody who tells you it's not, they're not being honest with you. You got to be honest with yourself. It's discouraging, but you also have to continue to walk through that process. Got to walk through the process.
When I tell you, and I share this because this is why I am truly like head over heels for my husband, because I, Adam, am one. You know me. I go head first in. I goes head first in. Like, it ain't no. Listen, I promise you, if the Lord drops something in my spirit right now and be like, hey, we'll get ready to do this, I'm ready. I am ready. But that's just a posture of my discipline. But I have learned. And so, Jonathan is my Lou. Like, he's like, now let's talk about it. Let's write it down. Let's get a plan. And to help me walk through that in detail, like, it helps. It helps so much because you don't go out there, you don't fall off the freaking cliff.
Right. Because, it's okay to stumble, but sometimes if you fall off that cliff, it's hard to come back.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. It's real hard. Yeah.
It's hard. And, I'll say this for you, you have an amazing support system. Jonathan, John is amazing. And then you have a strong circle of friends who is going to give you honest feedback or say, hey, slow down a little bit.
Right.
You need to, as a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever, you have to have a strong circle 100%. Around you. It's going to just keep it real with you, and you can take it and you can say, okay, you know what? You're right.
That's
I'm moving too quick.
man. When I tell you this, because I post this a lot, people probably say, "God, dog, she say something about the support system one more time." But I don't think people really understand when I even speak about it, like that. I have a community that is like no other. I am blessed.
Absolutely.
I'm blessed.
Absolutely.
People a lot of time don't have one and two people that they can count on.
That's true.
But I
That's true.
have a whole community. So I am fortunate and I'm blessed, like, to be able to walk through this season with so much grace and favor. Like, I truly am. And it is. I think that as business owner, and I think I talked about this on one of the career chats, as far as getting people around you that's going to hold you accountable. That's how you really grow. That's how you become your best self. It's getting people around you that's going to hold you accountable. My first, foremost, of course, accountability partner is my husband. He holds me accountable just as I hold him accountable. Yes. And so I think it's one of those things to where, like, people truly have to be intentional about it. Because sometimes that could bring forth offense if you're not healed or if you don't sit in that season the right way. Like, if your posture is not in the right way in that season, you'll take it as offense, but it's really not. It's just, it's good chastisement for you to be able to grow and develop and know that what is being brought to you is literally to help lift you.
Absolutely. And you said something that was so key. You said, if you're not healed, you know, you can't walk into anything knowing that within yourself you're not right.
That's it.
Because you're only thing you're doing is you're gonna hurt yourself.
That's it.
You're gonna hurt yourself. So yes, that is key. Having a support system, and even if the support system is simple as one person, a support system is a support system. Somebody that you know when the chips are down, they are there, and they're going to walk through it with you, but allow you to, again, prune. That's important. That's important.
That's good, Adam. That's good. That's real good. The pruning season. The pruning season is hard, but it helps you to bear more fruit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't carry any type of old baggage into any situation. You have to truly be able to heal from it, let it go. And then, you know, firm believer, you know, in that we reap what we sow. You know, that pruning season, that fire, that's all a part of that. You have to give that back. The universe they want that back. The universe wants it back, and you have to be willing to say, okay. And sometimes you gotta throw your hands up.
Yeah.
And you have to hold your cross. You have to bear your own cross in that season, no matter what it is, because again, you're trying to get to the new. You're trying to get to what's coming. You know, so that's some serious, you know, information. Any entrepreneur, any business owner, you know, if you know that you're weak in a place, then you need to heal yourself. You have got to heal yourself. And then allow your gift to manifest and work. Allow it to work. You know, don't psych yourself out. Just trust the process. Walk. And in the process, you know, you have to sow. You definitely have to sow. You know, that's important. You have to be willing to sow. You have to be willing to, again, be vulnerable in some areas. You can't close things off because you're going to shut so many doors if you do.
Man, listen, you are preaching. So at the beginning of my coaching framework, we do self-discovery. Like, literally in my career development, 30% of it, I have to say, is truly career development. 70% is self-discovery. And the reason why is because what worked for me are the tools that I use in order for me to help others get there. And sometimes what that takes, it takes a lot of digging. It takes a lot of honesty, and you have to be honest with yourself to be able to realize in certain places I have been traumatized And I have to get to a whole place. I have to get to a healed place, because I'll never be able to identify with who God really has called me to be if I keep wearing an exterior or the shell in order for me to protect myself for everything else. Right. So even from my past, and a lot of times people always try to protect whoever they were in the past, or, whatever the case may be, you have to be healed to walk in the fullness of what God has called you to do.
Absolutely.
You have to be healed. You cannot do this wearing a shell, wearing a mask. You have to do the work. And so one of the first things I always ask is, as far as even identify, like, I go there, what are your traumas? We got to address those first, because if not, we can talk about all this career stuff. We can talk about your gifts and all, but if I don't address that, you will sabotage exactly where God is trying to take you.
Absolutely. And we're human, so we are our worst enemy.
That's it.
We are 100% our worst enemy. Yeah. So if you're not trying to elevate yourself, then you have to be honest with yourself. If you're wearing all these different masks and stuff, at some point somebody's gonna know who the real you is, or there's somebody out there who already knows the real you. At this point, let the real you be you. Be
preaching.
Be 100% who you are, and let people accept for you. You'll get a lot. Me sitting here trying to say, "Oh, I'm some celebrity chef." No, I'm not. I'm not.
Right.
Yes, but I'm gonna be me, and my personality. I'm gonna be who I am. I love me. And you have to love yourself. You got to be in love with yourself.
Listen, that is the walk and talk of, that's how Career Chat was birthed. It's not because I come to be an expert in any area. I don't. Mm-hmm. This is just something that I know God has called me to. So I'm just like, Lord, let's do it. Right. And so I love connecting with people. I love hearing people's stories. And so I use that. I connect with people. If the Lord turns this into a major platform, so be it. But if not, so be it. Because I love this is good. This is so good. Because the thing is, sometimes people don't want to, I don't understand why people want to wear masks and walk around burdened. But God has so much more for them in those later seasons that they don't even realize. Like, if you completely go to the throne with all of that, like, God is able to wash all of that stuff away. Like, you get to come out a brand new creature. You don't have to carry that baggage, that weight any longer.
Yeah, you don't. Let it go. Whatever it is, something is holding you back.
Right.
Release it.
Yeah.
And be done with it. If sometimes you got to change your prayer. You got to pray different. Send me the people who's supposed to be in my life, and remove those who are not supposed to be. Sometimes we get so attached to things that we get scared to just let go.
Yeah.
And sometimes the things that we scared to let go the most be the same things that's holding you back.
Man.
So you gotta let go. You just gotta let go.
Bro, you're preaching on here.
That's a part of the testimony. Just being honest, let it go.
Yeah. And I appreciate even you being transparent in that space, like, because sometimes people are not even willing to be transparent. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah. You're 100% welcome. You gotta be.
I appreciate that. So it is, of course, y'all, it's 8:00. Oh, I hate to even stop this conversation because it's so freaking good. Lord have mercy. But we are definitely going to have to continue this conversation further, Adam, at a later time. But absolutely. I am going to be ready because we have some new stuff getting ready to come. And so I am going to be definitely happy and fortunate to have you join me on this journey. So we would definitely be, well, we already stay connected anyway, but
that's right. We already there.
We already there. But I want to personally thank you for coming on the Career Chat today, bro, for extending yourself, you and Lou. Like I said, even though Lou is not here, presently, physically, she is here with us in spirit, right?
Amen. She is, and she
Right, she's
in
here. She is here. So, thank you guys so much for sharing the platform. Again, tell everybody where they can find you.
Again, everybody, check us out on Instagram, inked, INKD _chef23, and then Facebook, inked, INKD chef23. Our menus will be posted. We are typically, doing things on Saturdays. This Saturday, we are back. Popular demand, people are hitting us up. So just hit us up, take a look at our products, and we look forward to serving you.
I love it, man. And so, of course, you guys know that my platform is to be able to help expose you guys to all these amazing business owners here, giving you guys exposure, letting you guys know about what it is, what businesses are out there, and more importantly, to be connected to more than just their business. What story did they share in order for you to be connected to? And hopefully, as you continue to connect with more and more people, that you continue to support other businesses as we continue to grow this community, man. So I really do appreciate it, bro. You just coming on and being transparent, being open. This is what this platform is about. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Of course. All right, y'all. Y'all already know Cierra G. Wiles is signing out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Remember, and I think I said this on the other lives, but Career Chat Tuesdays is going to be moving to Sundays now. Career Chats is going to be moving to Sundays. So with the demand of work, and of course, my business is starting to definitely increase, and I want to be able to still use this platform and still do what I have to do. And so in order for me to do that effectively and manage my time well, we're going to move chats to Sundays at 6 p.m. So meet me. And we don't have to rush the conversations then, but I just want to be able to pour into you guys. And I have some exclusive information that I'm going to be dropping in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about it. Continue to share, continue to like, continue to post, do all of that good stuff as you guys have been doing to support this platform. And this time, of course, I've tagged you in this live. And then if it didn't get on there, then I'm going to go and edit it. All right.
Awesome.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Deuces.